Here's why I think you need to be really careful about being prescribed a stimulant or a sleep medication because you are in a stressed out state. So I see this all the time. Hello, my name is Rochelle Walsh, and I've been a complex trauma therapist for many years, specializing in brain-based strategies. I now have an online coaching program that helps women go from overwhelm to calm and confident in their emotions. All of a sudden, you're burnout, maybe you're not sleeping, your body is starting to show the symptoms of chronic stress, maybe GI issues, maybe headaches, maybe brain fog, trouble concentrating, and you go to the doctor and you get told that maybe it's just because you're perimenopausal, or maybe it's because you have ADD or something else undiagnosed, or you just have anxiety and you are given a script, maybe something to sleep, maybe a stimulant, maybe an anti-anxiety med. Here is my advice on why you should think carefully before starting any medication. And primarily, it's because a lot of beliefs about this is that one is that it's much harder to get off than it is to get on. And that's something that a lot of people don't understand, but treat a lot of people who have gone on medications and have been struggling for a very long period of time to try to get off. And they often tell me, no one told me it would be so hard to get off. It's many of the things that are prescribed are highly addictive. But even beyond that, they don't fix the root of the problem. So most of the time, there is some level of dysregulation in the nervous system and also difficulty regulating emotions. So dysregulation of emotions means somebody can be very attuned to all the things that are going on around them, an excellent problem solver, a very high performer, and very even compassionate and caring toward other people's emotions, and yet they have alarm bells going on within them. And so their nervous system is always sprinting. They're always in pleasing, producing, performing mode. And the nervous system begins to get stuck in overdrive, and that has a lot of consequences in the body, on the health. Does it show up around perimenopausal time? And am I saying that hormonal shifts can't make it any more intense? Of course they can. But I don't think it's the only reason, and I know that because I treat a lot of perimenopausal women, and I don't prescribe hormone. They get help, and even while they're still going through menopause, and after or before, postpartum. So there's an underlying issue that's there, and medications don't address that. In fact, I think I've read a lot, I've been trained a lot, and time, talk, and medication. 3 things that are really wildly unsuccessful, in my opinion, in terms of resolving nervous system dysregulation. I think the research is pretty clear on that too. So it's not to say that time doesn't, trauma is not time stamped in the brain. Most of these things we can't just wait them out. And talk comes from the prefrontal cortex. Talking I'm not saying it doesn't have any value. And then medication. Medication doesn't fix the underlying problem, though it may tame some symptoms for a while. So it's really important to understand that there are things we can do to support our nervous system and our body, but those things are going to be more effective if there's some sort of testing that goes along with it. When someone is put on an anti-anxiety medication or a stimulant or an antidepressant or sleep medication, you know how much testing is done to see what meds might be beneficial? 0. Are there genetic tests that could have told you that? There are definitely genetic tests. My husband runs genetic tests, in fact, and you can actually see that if someone does need an SSRI or something, which drugs are going to be effective and which ones they should clearly stay away from. There's just not a lot of testing that's done. It's based on patient report of their symptoms, and then a script is given. It's and sometimes it can give relief. So there's nothing amoral about it. If you've had great results with medication and you're right where you want to be, then, that's great for you. Most of the women I have not, and your brain adapts. It changes the brain. And then they've got to do other medication and make adjustments and tweaks, and then another one. And it doesn't really fix the underlying problem. Strategies that really get at helping your nervous system regulate from within, and using intentional thought, using strategies of nervous system regulation. There's so many. It's really doing things in a structured way, but be careful if you get prescribed a medication, and you don't know the cause of what's going on, a simple medication isn't going to make it feel better. And in fact, it might complicate things. The women I see, the medication and the trying to taper off medication, or even just staying on the medication, tends to complicate and have more difficulty getting to a regulated, and not only regulated state, but a really healthy state. A lot of people tell me that they feel numbed out, they feel not like themselves. And so be cautious. There's no one thing that's right for everyone. Just sharing my 2 cents on why we should be careful before changing our brain chemistry with a substance. So I hope this is helpful, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.